Good evening, good evening, everyone. Giving a wait till about 8 o'clock. Just a moment. All right, the time now is 8 o'clock. For those of you that are joining tonight, and for those that will join later, I'd like to thank you for another episode of 10 Toes Down Reloaded Self Empowerment Symposium. My name is Jamela Hillary Harris, and I just love doing these things so that I can help someone. Tonight is a very, okay, I could say kind of a touchy subject that many of us have probably experienced at some point in time in our lives. But a lot of people don't like to talk about it simply because there's shame. And what I want to do tonight is to shine some light on you and let you know that you're not alone and that there is help out here for you. If you all will take a look before we get started in the comments section, I have placed information for the National Sexual Assault Hotline, which is 24/7 confidential support. And the number is 1-800-656-4673. I did call the number to make sure it's an active number. And I also um, put in uh, the email address for saslane.org. They have support groups for victims of sexual assault, and their number is 1-844-404-7700. And these are organizations that are already out there that are designed to give you the help that you need so that you can be successful. There may be organizations that are local to you that you may want to go check out. But just in case you didn't know about any resources, I want to make sure that I provided those. So let's get started with tonight's topic: rape, a black hole that you can overcome. Many times when someone violates an individual, it takes a part of them away to the point where it leaves a void in their life. And I describe that void as a black hole. The reason why I do that is because that's what it was for me. It is it felt like a gravitational pull that just kept pulling me down and down and down and down, to the point where if any of you all have seen that movie Get Out, where the gentleman is like falling down into the sunken place and he's just kind of reaching and he can never get back up. That's kind of how that black hole is, and there's absolutely no light. It's just total darkness. And that's how it feels if someone you love rapes you. And when I say rape, I mean sexual assault that is non-consensual. And it can happen with anyone, not just a stranger. More often than it should, it happens with people that are your family members or someone that you may be in an intimate relationship with. And I'm here to tell you that unless you have consented to give your body away to someone, then, and say if someone stole your innocence, you're still innocent, regardless of what anyone else says, because God gives us that beautiful thing called free will. And with Him giving us free will, you know, what happens to your body is supposed to be your choice. No matter what others tell you, you are responsible for what happens in your body. Unfortunately, um, rape is a global epidemic, and it predominantly happens to women, but it also happens to men too. You have male on male rape, you have female on male rape, you have male on female rape, you have female on male rape. Yes, women rape men too. You know, it is it's bad, but it's something inside of these people that just makes them enraged and feel like they have to have a sense of control over an individual. And you can choose to hate them, Or you can do like I do, forgive them not because they deserve it, but to set myself free. But I had to learn that. Okay. Let's talk about rape. Rape itself is sexual assault of any kind without consent. It can be intercourse, vaginally, anal, oral, any type of sexual assault, you know, and there's penetration, someone's violating you. You have molestation and stuff that's out there too, but nobody should be doing anything that you did not consent for them to do. And unfortunately, especially with kids, you know, some of them can't even talk. And, their parents may entrust them to someone to care for them while they're working, or they may have parents that are just crazy, you know, and or maybe a pedophile or something, and they just harm them. You know, I can't make excuses for why people do evil things to people, and people like, oh, that's just life. At the end of the day, you still have a choice. You have a choice to hurt or harm someone, and I look at things sometimes from a spiritual perspective. Was that person so empty inside that they were able to be possessed for something to overtake their body, for them to lose sight and lose control of themselves? And so I look at the action of what someone has done, um, in order to help myself move forward in life. You know, am I going to allow that action to control myself? Because, see, I can't control what someone else does to me, but I can control how I respond. And that's what I want you to remember. Take your power back. You have the ability to take your power back. You have people that are married that are getting raped. You have people in intimate relationships are getting raped, domestic violence, they're getting raped, kids getting raped. Rape is a global epidemic, as I stated before. And again, it's usually somebody you know. It's sad that sex is such a driver, but to me, it's not even about sex, it's about control. Because if someone can break you down so bad, because your body is your body, if someone can break you down so bad to make you feel worthless or like you're not enough, then they can control every aspect of your life, how you think, how you sleep, how you eat. And I kind of look at it as a frog. Think about two frogs on the stove. You could scoop one out of its habitat, put it inside a pot, slowly turn up the heat by doing little things, little things, little things. And by the time that little frog realizes there's real danger, in this case, where you are no longer being able to consent to have sex with that person just feels like they are entitled to your body. That's kind of like the arms and the legs of the frog being cooked. You saw a little bit of danger, but you ignored it because you were comfortable, and they allowed you to be comfortable. So you need to be careful with that. Be aware of your surroundings. Don't be so quick to just jump in a relationship because someone seems nice. Okay? Take the time out to really investigate a person's background, see what they're doing, you know, go out here, you know, observe them in the daylight, observe them at night, observe them when you don't know. Don't just trust someone with your life without really trying to get to know who that individual is, because they can hurt you. And I don't want that from you at all. I don't want that for you. I don't want that for your children, because unfortunately, there are lots of single parents, mothers, single moms, and single dads. And on both ends, unfortunately, you have people that will victimize. Well, I'm not going to say victimize, but they will groom your children. You know, love them as if they're their own, as if they're, their own children, so on and so forth. And all the time, you may be thinking that this individual is, going to be someone for you. And all the time, they looking at your son or looking at your daughter to raise them till they get a certain age. And you got to think about it, if they raise them from a child, they've raised this child to be exactly how they want him or her to be. And so you got to be careful, listen to your kids, also make sure that your kids aren't liars too. So you need to look at the habits of your children too, because in today's society, you just don't know. But just, be mindful if you're dating, as parents, that you just give yourself time before bringing someone around your children, because your children are your legacy. And I want you guys to feel confident when you're going out here to date, but just know that you are dating a stranger. So inviting someone into your house with your innocent kids and you do not know the background, you are opening those babies up to possibly being raped. And if they're not able to talk, that's even worse. So when my kids were younger, I taught them like good touch, bad touch, things to be able to help them. So if they were not able to communicate to me verbally, they were able to communicate with, I call it our ghetto sign language. We just made up our own little language so that I knew if something was wrong with them. And they didn't always tell me everything because I have three, but at the heart of everything, I always tried to make sure that I stayed open because I know things happened to me as a kid and and also as an adult. I kind of, my kids call it, they said, "Ma, you was a helicopter mom." And yeah, I kind of was in some ways. But at the end of the day, I was living in kind of in fear based upon something that may have almost happened to me or something that did happen to me. And I wanted to do everything I could to make sure that it didn't happen to my children. All right. So let's talk about types of rape. You have, there's different types of rape, but things I want to discuss is domestic violence. People get raped during domestic violence. Um, Marital rape. As I stated before, people in marriages get raped too. Even though you have a husband or a wife, either way, ladies, y'all can do that to your husband too. You know, Still out of respect, unless you guys have that kinky type of relationship, make sure that your partner is consenting. If your partner says no, then respect them enough to say, okay, baby, I understand. Female and males, all y'all, if your partner says no, no means no, okay? Say it with me. No means no, all right? And then intimate partner sexual violence. You know, you can be raped by your partner. If you tell your partner, no, I don't want to have sex, and your partner forces him or herself on you, that person has violated you. That person has sexually assaulted you. And you can tell when it's a bad feeling because you you feel less than. You feel, what's the word? You feel dirty, you know? And then the person expects you to look at them the same way when something like that has occurred. And it's not easy to come back from that when that has occurred in a relationship. Because the person that was the victim starts to resent the individual and it just goes downhill, okay? It'll take a lot of forgiveness, but sometimes the other person don't, because of how they may have been raised, don't believe in that. So that they may not believe in the fact that, you know, you have to consent for sex. And so you need to really, really understand, your partner, understand, boundaries, And make sure that you guys clearly communicate that so that it doesn't happen. Because if someone loves you, they do not want to hurt you. I promise you, they don't want to hurt you. And so, clear communication means a lot. And if you are a person that has been raped or molested as a child or any of those things, you need to communicate that with your partner, because certain things that that person may do, it might trigger you, and you may lash out on that individual, and it's not his or her fault. And so I want you guys to really, really do the work within yourself. I understand people don't want to be lonely, but before going into someone's life, I cannot emphasize this enough. Talk to your doctor, go see a therapist, do the work to fix you so that you go into a relationship whole as a whole person, so that the person that you love is also whole, so that you can have a healthy, prospering relationship. Because relationships in themselves can be hard. And so trauma can make it even harder. So I just want you guys to remember that. All right. All of this, when people um, perform acts of rape, or I'll call it what it is, sexual assault, violence, it's a matter of control. They want to have control over the person's mind or over the person's life. And they want to instill fear because they want to have that godlike mentality, you know? And I don't know if that stems from the individual just feeling insecure within themselves, not loving themselves. But, people have different, what I call vices, um, to deal with their own pain. Some people drink, some people smoke, some people are promiscuous. Some people may curse, some people may fight, some people may scream, shout. There are just different ways that people choose to release their pain. And unfortunately, if you get involved with the wrong person, you will get caught in the crossfire. And I need you guys to be mindful of that. So let's kind of pump our brakes. Skirt, you know what I'm saying? Pump your brakes a little bit, and get to know people. You know, time, time is so important. So important. Um, I told you tonight there's steps to help you overcome. As you all know, I do have, well, if you don't know, you can go to rss.com or Spotify. You can even go to Google Podcasts. I do have a podcast called J. Marie Speaks, and I do have a segment called Mending the Brokenness. And with Mending the Brokenness was 7 steps to healing that God gave me that I use on a regular basis to help sustain me in this life, because life sometimes life's okay. Life, my granny say, life be life in sometime. And so I want to encourage you guys to listen to it. I want to encourage you guys to develop your own strategies, to help you not only survive in this life, but also thrive. And take your test that you've been in and make that into a testimony. You know, I had someone ask me, they said, "Why do you do this?" You know, and my answer is, it makes me feel good knowing that if I can save one person or help one person, then whatever I went through in my life was worth it. Would I choose to go through it again? Absolutely not. But do I look like anything I've been through? No. And that's because I have the grace of God. Now, the Lord knows I'm a work in progress, y'all. I promise you. My sinuses will bother me. So I do apologize if I sound a little raspy tonight. And thank you all for whoever tuned in last week, because I had to come to you guys live. I was just coming off a plane. I had to change the times back. I was in a different time zone. There was a lot going on. So tonight I'm home. But I'm gonna be gone again tomorrow, so I'll be in Savannah. But I will be home for next week, so hopefully I see you all there. Please make sure you like, share, and comment. Oh, excuse me, I do apologize, but make sure you like, share, and comment. Um, but the 7 steps that I have to give to you all is courage, faith, forgiveness, love, friendship, empowerment, and the seventh one is rest and balance. That comes together. Um, you know, many people don't want to talk about it, but I was a victim too. But I refuse to allow the bad decisions of others to dictate my life. I I just refuse. I will never ever allow someone just to blatantly have control over me because of the bad decisions that they made. I understand that we all have free will, and just whatever someone's free will does, I just pray that I'm not in the crossfires. And unfortunately, sometimes it happens. So if it does happen, I just have to reach out to God's hand and God's unchanging hand, and you know, and depend on God to help bring me through it. Healing was a journey for me, but I remember crying out to God and I heard him say, I got you. Unfortunately, we have free will. As I said before, bad things do sometimes happen to good people, but through it all, we survive. And that's something I want you to remember. If you keep pushing, if you keep going, you keep growing. And if you do the work, you will survive any single thing that you are going through in this life. I've been asked, as I told you all before, why am I so open about my life? And my question to them is, why not? If anything, like I said, if I'm delivering that one person, I feel like I've won over the person that did harm to me. Seriously. Like I just I just turned that pain, that anguish, my tribulation, um, I turned it into love. I realized that it was nothing more than a test for my testimony. And because I was strong enough to endure it, I'm strong enough to give you guys the message so that someone else can come through it too. I'm a fighter, and you are too. I'm a winner, and you are too. God has given me purpose, and I know that there is no pain that He can't remove from me. And that's 100%. There's absolutely no pain that God can't take from my life. But I always had a choice to trust Him or to be addicted to the pain. And I'm sorry, but I don't like pain. I don't like the way it feels. I've had children. I felt fire burn. There is no way that I want to be addicted to anybody's pain. Holding on to pain is not an option for me. And I choose faith over fear every day. Some days are better than others, but I'll choose faith over fear any day. I don't like feeling scared, and I don't want you to feel scared either. The local police stations have self defense courses and classes that you can sign up for absolutely free. And even if you get a gun, if you're not going to pull the trigger, you're wasting your time. Learn you some taekwondo, some karate, or something like that if you know that when the time comes, you're not going to have the courage to pull that trigger. Because other than that, that individual is going to take it in that split second and pull that trigger on you. And I don't want that for you. I want you to also know that I turn pain into love. And for that reason, my happiness in itself has helped me heal. You know, Oftentimes people don't understand how I am the way that I am. But I'm just a Care Bear. Do I get angry? Yes, just like anybody else. But if I was able to have the amount of money that I would like to have to help people in the world, I would do it. And to help my family and friends and, you know, animals, plants. I'm a plant mama. But however the case may be, I just know as human, as mankind, we're supposed to take care of the earth and we're supposed to take care of each other. And there's so many different things. There's wars and rumors of wars. I just feel like we are living in the book of Revelation every single day, and different seals are being unleashed on the earth. But one seal that I know you can close is that black hole that you keep sinking into because your daddy raped you, or your mama raped you, or your sister raped you, or your brother, or your grandpa, or your friend, or someone in a high authoritative place that puts you in a bad position. Just know that that situation is over and you need to do the work so that you can heal. Please look at the information I have in the comment section. You know, do whatever you need to do to make things better for yourself. I can I can tell you many things each and every day that can help you as far as giving you as affirmations. I am strong, I am great, I am this, I am that. But unless you believe it, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You've got to do the work. I know whoever did it hurt you. And I'm talking to men too, because you guys bury so much inside of you. So much inside of you. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to find that part of you that has been hurting. Because in order for you to heal fully and completely, you have to love every part of who you are, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Because no matter what, it is still you. And however the case may be, it still helped to shape you into the man or woman that you are today. Turn that pain into profit. Write a book or something. But don't just sit there and wallow in sorrow. God didn't want that for you. And I don't want that for you either. This segment is supposed to be an hour long, but usually at about this time, I like to open it up for like Q&A. At this point, I don't see any questions in the comments, and that is fine. I have people that go back and look at this at a later time. But however the case is, I'm going to continue this, whether it's one person looks at this live stream, 20 people look at it, 1,000, nobody, it's okay because it's good information that's going to one day hit the ears of someone that needs it. I just want you to know that you are worth it. You are enough. And unless you consented to someone to enter in your body or to touch you, you still have your innocence because it's your body. They don't control you. Don't allow them to keep you stuck in the sunken place because you feel like your body isn't enough. Your body is your temple, and that's where God dwells. And God loves you. He loves you so much. You know, you'd be like, I don't know God. Well, keep watching. Keep watching. I don't want to not know God. And I don't have to see God to know that God is there. Because my thing is, you want success, but you can't necessarily physically see success. You know? You want peace, but you can't see it. So Try something different. If you've been struggling with these battles all by yourself, try Jesus, try God. Try loving you because you deserve it. And I want to see you smile. See? Smile. Smile, even through the pain. And sometimes you got to praise your way through everything, even when it's hard. But forgiveness is so powerful, guys. You forgive people not because they deserve it, but to set yourself free. That's what you do. Again, tonight I normally do an hour, but I don't see any questions or comments in tonight's segment. Um, but join me next Tuesday. And also at 8 o'clock, the time changed to 8 o'clock, guys. But join me next Tuesday for another helpful topic. And if there's a topic that you want me to discuss, please feel free to leave it in the comments. I do go back and read the comments. And again, I want you to know that you're not alone. And young men and young ladies, I don't care if a guy raped you or a girl raped you, someone touched you in the wrong way. Look at that information in the comments and get the help that you need. And do the work. And remember that you are enough. You are so beautiful. You are so worthy. And I don't care what age you are never too old to heal. And I'm here to help you. So God bless everyone. And y'all have a good night. Again, leave your comments, share. But I hope tonight's message will help someone. You can do it. I'm a survivor. I'm thriving. And no matter what, we're going to choose faith over fear. And we're not going to hold on to pain. Okay? So you see my hand? I could take your hand just like this. See? Coming through here. You can take my hand just like that. And just get a big old hug. You can make it. You can make it. I did, and you can too. God bless.